They say it's chemicals. Cool. But chemicals don't tuck you in when the night screams back. Is meaning just a molecule out in my head? Is hope a dopamine surge that misreads the thread? If joy's a fucking signal and nothing but that, then I'm a radio of scars with the dial half cracked. If mercy's in receptors that open and close, why do I freeze when the winter wind blows? If happiness is data in a limbic code, why's my prefrontal cortex stuck in the snow? Schizoaffective, yeah, the label sits heavy. Mood rides a pendulum, manic then deadly. Limbic amps peaking, salience goes wrong. Nothing but static gets treated like song. That's aberrant salience, kid tagging the noise, turning random streetlights into God's own voice. Mesolimbic dopamine flood, D2 on blast. My amygdala sirens keep calling me fast. Prefrontal hyperdopa, brakes run thin. Executive functions a rusted pin. So I bargain with shadows and argue with glass. Write notes to a future that never shows class. You want science? Fine. This pain has a map. Circuits misfiring, valley miss off ramp. My therapist says breathe, I breathe like a bellows. But cortisol storms keep drowning my meadows. Is meaning just a molecule out in my head? Is hope a dopamine surge that misreads the thread? If joy's a fucking signal and nothing but that, then I'm a radio of scars with the dial half cracked. If mercy's in receptors that open and close, why do I freeze when the winter wind blows? If happiness is data in a limbic code, why's my prefrontal cortex stuck in the snow? Antipsychotics in the cabinet, line them like troops. Risperidone, olanzapine, metabolic loops. D2 blockade, 5-HT2A calm. Pulls the voices to a leash, slows the psalm. Negro striatal side quest, watch the EPS. Akathisia tap dance, can't sit no rest. Jaw ticks, whisper tortive, I'm checking the glass. Praying these late moves don't etch in the past. Quetipine's a blanket, yeah, it knocks me to noon. But weight stacks quick like a sandbag moon. Clozapine's the last card. Blood draws wrist, the granulocyte roulette. Hope persists, glutamate's part 2. NMDA low, turns whispers to warnings, makes phantoms grow. GABA off balance, the gate loses teeth. The lamic filters let nightmares sneak. So tell me again how it's just in your head, like that makes the labyrinth easy to tread. If receptors are doors, who's holding the keys? If God's in the synapse, why won't he say please? Mood's a two-faced landlord, mania than frost. I write with a fever, then count what it costs. Lithium's a lighthouse, keeps waves from my skull. But I taste metal rain when the seasons get dull. Valproate hums like a far-off train. Gotta check liver panels so I don't derail. Lamotrigine whispers, steady the climb. Pray no rash blooms in the nick of time. SS for eyes, maybe watch the switch flip quick. From gray paper Sundays to manic tick-tick. Sleep hygiene, CBT, sunlight reps. But the HPA axis still floods my steps. I got charts in my pocket and prayers in a cup. Side effect roulette saying ante it up. So yeah, it's receptors, it's pathways and math. But fuck all that jargon when I'm stuck in the bath. Counting tiles like rosaries, begging for calm. While my heart drum kits a 4 on the bomb. Is meaning just a molecule out in my head? Is hope a dopamine surge that misreads the thread? If joy's a fucking signal and nothing but that, then I'm a radio of scars with the dial half cracked. If mercy's in receptors that open and close, why do I freeze when the winter wind blows? If happiness is data in a limbic code, why's my prefrontal cortex stuck in the snow? I learned the hard way what compliance cost. When I quit cold turkey, I got nailed to the cross. Rebound spikes had me seeing in knives. Paranoia braided into everyday life. Now I taper with a calendar, meds in a row. Doctor on speed dial, watching labs like a show. Prolactin climbing, then we pivot the plan. Chase side effects down like a bounty man. QT on the EKG, count it out slow. I want rhythm and music, not in heart's death row. And still, when it's quiet, I hear the whole choir. A hiss in the drywall, pushing me higher. I tell it I see you, you chemical ghost. But I pick real life over spectral boast. I'm more than the misfire, more than the scan. I'm the motherfucking grit that rewires the plan. If meaning's just molecules loud in my head, I'll tune the receiver and sift what they said. If joy's just just a signal that rises then fades. I'll build me a baseline that never degrades. If mercy's in receptors that open and close, I'll earn every doorway, each yes and each no. And if happiness is data in a limbic code, I'll write my own cipher and carry the load.
Call it science, call it soul. Either way, I wake up and fight the signal. That's the work. You know now.